Okay, so I think that we do have a lot of people who are still joining in. That number still continue to rise, but I think that we can start because I don't want to waste any of your time. So hi and welcome everybody. Sorry, I'm reading what you are writing. Yes, I can get close to the microphone. Let me see. This is better. Okay, I'll try. I will try to speak a little louder. All of you are muted, so if you have anything to say, please write it in the question pane. I'm not the only one here, so we will write and we will answer all of your questions. So yes, okay. So let's start. So first of all, nice to see you all by name at least. My name is Eliran. I am the training manager here in NIAX. Some of you might recognize me from the previous webinars, and we're going to have so much more webinars this year. I would like to welcome you all to our first session of 2021 together. We have a lot of sessions that are planned for this year. And starting from this one, this is our first session that's going to be on MoMa, the mobile management app that we have. And Oleg Rosenblum, our VP product, will be the one delivering that in just a few moments. But I want to use this stage for just a couple more minutes to talk about a lot of changes that are going on in NIAX University that I would like to share with you before we start. So let me just unfreeze my screen really quickly. And let me know that you can see this specific slide, this slide that says NIAX University 2021. Let me know, write me in the question pane. Great, great, great. Thank you all. Okay, it's great. So I wanted to talk to you about a lot of the changes that are happening in NIAX University this year. So one of the major things that I've started to do, and you've probably noticed that if you logged into NIAX University in the past week or so, is that all of the courses have been restructured into a new format. My main goal in 2021 is to kind of restructure the university and make it into a customer-focused learning experience for you all. That means that you will see throughout this year a lot, many courses that that I will develop and I will bring to you in the university. All of the courses are now divided into 3 certification levels, and the purpose of that is to give you all of the information that you need in order to better utilize our products in a more efficient way and more personalized way. So let me show you how it looks. So if I'm going to NIAX University, and the way to log into NIAX University is by going into the DCS, okay, into NIAX VEN, NIAX management system, and click on the university icon that you see in the upper right-hand side of the screen. You will be able to log into NIAX University, and you will see all of the courses that you see on your screen right now. So what I did is try to reorganize all of the courses. There were more than 130 different courses. So I kind of tried to organize them in a way that would make you just easier and more understandable. Starting from the basics in DCS, moving on to machines and devices and reports. And on level 2, we're talking about some more intermediate courses, and level 3 is more advanced courses. I know that you want to see a lot of the webinars that have happened in 2020 and will happen in 2021. So we have a special category for it. And as some of you know and might understand, this webinar is also recorded and will be uploaded into NIAX University. I believe that tomorrow you will be able to find it in the marketing videos and webinar section in the university. And of course, you will receive the follow-up email 2 days from now, which will have all of the information that we are talking about right now on this specific webinar. So this is the first change that has happened in Nayax University. Another great change that is going to happen is we will provide you with a lot more knowledge and a lot more training throughout this year. We saw in 2020 that the attendance rate for webinars has been amazing. So this is something that we will continue on doing this year. As you can see on the slide, we have a lot of webinars planned. Basically, it's going to be at least one webinar per quarter for you. So you see here the list that you have on the screen. However, just according to everything that happens in January, I can tell you that you're gonna get so much more webinars. So on the roadmap, we have the MoMA webinar planned, which is what we're doing right now. You will have DCS tips and tricks. Monix Wallet, which is also an app that keeps growing and growing. We used to have just one specific webinar on that, but since the app is really continuing to grow, we're going to separate that into two different webinars. One that's going to be a little bit more, one that talks about all of the benefits for you and talks about the loyalty of your consumers. And the second one would be a little bit more technical, which we will dive into the DCS, and I will show you all of the tips and tricks inside the DCS for Monix Wallet. We have an EV meter planned for a little bit later this year, and so many more webinars for you. So a lot of content is going to come to you throughout this year. And if you have any questions, if you have any ideas for webinars, if you need more training or more knowledge on any of the topics or the products that we're having for you in order to better utilize our platform, feel free to contact me at training@nayax.com. You can email me about anything that you want. You can schedule additional trainings for you. So having said all of that, right now I'm gonna hand over the virtual mic to my colleague Oleg, which will talk about the MoMA application. So Oleg, I am unsharing my screen in order for you to be able to share yours. I'm going to make you a presenter. And I am giving you the mic. Okay, thank you, everybody. Enjoyed this webinar.
Hi, everybody. Thank you very much, Eliran. Can you guys confirm you hear me well in the chat? Yep. Thank you very much. So I'm going to share my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen well. Great. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Let me start off by, I think what I want to do today is kind of give you an overview of MoMA is basically a very condensed and specific part of the Nayax backend system. And MoMa is the utility today for the route, mostly oriented around the route driver and the functionalities that he can do in the field easier. I don't know how many of you are familiar with MoMa, had a chance to play with it, know what its capabilities, but I think by the end of this webinar, you'll be a lot more proficient in that. And let me just dive a little bit in. I am starting from the Nayax backend office, the main system, just to give you some comparison and understanding of what is MoMa and how these two tie together and how you can get most value out of both. So essentially, MoMa is a reflection of Nayax back office, the DCS. And the majority of the app is oriented around navigating between your hierarchies, viewing your machines, viewing sales details, being able to dive into a specific machine and make certain actions when you're out in the field, or have a look at some of the details and information. I'm also going to talk about a little bit the native side, the native application functionality of the app. Those include push notifications. Those include the ability to link a smart sticker to your machine. Smart sticker can serve both your end consumer and yourself. We can talk a little bit about that as well. And I'm going to talk about the other types of functionality that you might see in MoMa and how they tie into your daily route. Now, I have my screen here also. I'm looking at the questions you may have. Feel free to ask the questions. I'll try to answer the questions that are being asked in the chat. But if not, after the webinar, I'll be able to also, with the help of Eliran and Omri, to answer all of your questions. So let's dive a little bit in. I'll start off from DCS and the backend side. This is the part where you manage your machines. The fact is, after you log in, and bear in mind that currently I'm looking at the system with higher privileges, so you might not see certain screens that I can right now. And hopefully this is, so it won't confuse you, but if you don't have a certain action that I'm showing, I believe we can address that by giving additional permission. But if you navigate to machines page, first thing you know about the hierarchy, the list of machines in your hierarchy, is the fact that it is very flexible. You have the ability to create hierarchies that will reflect your operation, your business. And the first few key things that you can do and actually see is the fact that the icon that indicates the type of your machine and the color of the icon, whether it's green or red, green indicating it's communicating properly, and red meaning that it's no longer communicating. Some of the other functionalities in a backend system are the abilities to see a product map and set, basically tie a product to a certain bin and set capacity for that product and be able to start managing inventory. Additional things that you can see on a machine level is the fact that you can look at some of the last sales to be able to see which sales have been made with which payment method and what product was sold. This is pretty basic and standard functionality, and I know you might be confused, why am I showing you a backend system? I'll jump into MoMa in a little bit because, as I said, it is a reflection. Same goes for last alerts, and the fact that you have also the ability to set smart alerts, to be able to set thresholds, to be able to define severity, choose the alerts you want to enable, and then be able to see these alerts in the machines. So going back to the mobile application, after I've logged in, the home screen, the navigation is showing me basically the hierarchy, and I can actually navigate internally and look at machines. And then I get to a point where I see a list of machines. If you need me, let me just increase the screen here. Somebody wrote no sound. Can you confirm you all hear me well and see my screen? I'm showing right now the MoMa app itself. All right. I'll try to speak closer to the mic. If you have some low volume, perhaps you can turn up a little bit the audio. So the list of machines right now, after I've navigated, let's say, into a certain hierarchy, what I see in front of me, and it may seem a little bit confusing, but it's actually due to the fact that I've chosen a little bit of details and information that I can see on a machine level. I can choose to remove that, and the only thing I'll see is the list of machines, the icon indicating what type of machine it is, and color indicating if it's not active or not communicating. And in this particular case, none of these are communicating and one machine is not active. But essentially, I see the machine number, machine name. I see the certain icons. These little icons indicate the type of alerts, the smart alerts that I just showed you a little bit earlier on the main system, where you can set thresholds. For example, this particular machine doesn't have DEX reads for a long period of time, doesn't have any communication, it didn't communicate to the server, doesn't have any sales, has too many bin vendouts, and has a power down without a power up alert. This one too also has active alerts, but but since we turned it to not active, apparently that's kind of the reason for that. But again, and if I, for example, am responsible for a route, and that route might contain between 50 and I don't know, 60 or 80 machines, I'd see a list here which I can scroll, similar to the hierarchies that I can navigate through back and forth to be able to see more machines. I'll try to show you, for example, additional hierarchies. Here we have, for example, one machine communicating. Yes, we can get to the list of icons and what they mean. I will discuss that in a short bit. I just want to touch on a subject which is important, and that's the ability to get certain insights about the machines when you looking at the list of the machines. So you don't really have to drill down to get that information, and that is done through the this little icon here that allows you to select the type of details that you'd like to see on the machine. So you might be able to say, I want to see today's sales and yesterday's sales, and by doing that, you can immediately see these columns being added, and you see the information for each machine. I am showing you this on not active machines, our office machines, so you're not seeing sales. But if you wish, you can add actually multiple columns. So if you want to know the cash box level, the tube status, the stock level, and then in this instance, you'll have the ability to scroll sideways to see additional information. But it's a scenario, and MoMa runs also as a mobile application on bigger screens. You're able to access MoMa if you wish on a PC or let's say tablets through a web interface right now, and that allows you to kind of see additional information on a larger screen. Now, when I go deeper inside the machine, actually I'm greeted, if you'll notice on the bottom over here, my icons changed a little bit because I've changed context. Previously, I was looking on a hierarchy level, and I had let me go back here. I had certain icons here, like I could see a dashboard, and the dashboard is hierarchy contextual. So, for example, I'm looking at cafeterias, so the numbers here would reflect the total sales of the cafeteria. If I were to go to a higher, let me just go to machines 1 second. If you lose your way here, you're able to quickly go back. Let me just select NIAX Office once again. If I look on the NIAX Office level and then I choose to see the dashboard, so the numbers reflect the hierarchy that I'm currently on. There we have a kind of high-level overview of sales, certain KPIs in terms of machines that haven't been visited for 7 or 14 or 21 days. In this particular instance, I have 2 of these that surpassed 3 weeks. Number of open pick lists, meaning if you've generated pick lists, you'll be able to see how many pick lists you have for that day and how many fills have been made, and the alerts that you have on which machines. When you see this little icon, for example, the arrow icon, it means you can drill down. So if I were to click on 21 days since last visit, it would take me to, just a second. I am open pick lists. Pick lists that you've generated that haven't been filled into the machines yet. So for example, if you start your route in the morning, you generate pick lists for the route. So you have, let's say, pick lists that are generated pick lists, the number of those. Each time a pick list is filled through the cycle of refilling the machine, restocking the machine, and pressing the indicating through the device, depending on the type of device, that you've filled the machine, that indication will basically delete the pick list and show as a fill done today. So I've clicked on an indication that a list, the 2 machines that haven't been visited more than 21 days. I am also, and then I got a list of the 2 machines that haven't been visited. I do have the ability to continue to drill down into the machine and then see the details of that machine right here. Let me go back quickly to machines. So let me talk a little bit about the search functionality. Search functionality works in 2 ways. One way is local search, and local search is searching the list that you see visually in front of you. So if I look for office, then I can see Nayax office. But we also recently have added the ability to search a specific machine number or machine name. So if I were to look for 98 108, which is one of the machine IDs in my office, and I click search on the server, actually it's searching within the hierarchy that I'm currently at. Let me go back and go to the top level and try to search. Nope, sorry. Here we go. If I were we've added the ability to find on server. Once I click find on server, it'll fetch the machine that I'm looking for. It can be by machine name, machine number, serial number, and the one that I was talking about is this one. It's currently turned off, but essentially I can access the machine that I'm searching for much quicker. And then I can see this particular machine details. Previously, our search functionality was limited only to local search, but now we do allow you to be able to access the machine quickly. And once I'm looking at that particular machine, I'm able to access the additional details that I see here. So if I've already went down, and I do want to go back up to Nayax office because I have a few things that I'd like to discuss there. I'll stick with the local search. Now that I have Nayax office, let's say our cafeteria, it has 4 machines, and I have my snacks, coffee machine, and we'll go into the snack machine. So the details that I'm able to see is, as you saw before, sort of a short dashboard with sales information per period, certain KPIs of how many sales since last visit / vends, what's the daily average sales and vends, what's the cash box level, what's the tube status, what's the on hand versus par, and how many bin vendouts I have. Now down below, I'm also able to see the active alerts. And active alerts are working based off of thresholds that we allow to set. So we can do that in app as well. I'll show you that in a little bit, but just to give you a quick indication, the alerts that I were talking about earlier, we have about, currently MoMa doesn't filter only active machines, but this is something we can add. You are seeing all machines active and not active right now. But this is something that we can definitely look into improving. So just to go over a few smart alerts, you're able to set alert thresholds. We have about 21 of these, and each alert is different, but these are smart alerts. For example, alert when machine stock, the on-hand is below certain percentage from par. Alert, the second alert is for basically sales since last visit. If you want to get an alert about bin vend outs, if you want to get an alert about a cash box being above a certain threshold, tubes below certain change, certain level of change, and a lot more. Communication, no sales, no cash sales, no cashless sales, for example, or and you are responsible to set the alerts you want per machine. So certain machine, no sales for let's say 2 hours. If that's in, something critical, then yeah, you can kind of define the threshold that you want. For another example is set alerts about power down. If you have a power down but no subsequent power up or communication or transaction, then you'll get an alert about that. So these are the alerts that each icon is kind of representing a specific alert. How to get to alerts section. I'm currently inside operations machines. This is under operations section, and I'm looking at a specific machine. We have an alerts tab. This is where you define your alerts. Tube change status. We can take some of these questions offline. I don't want to. I'm not sure I can get into deep, but your questions are all logged, and we'll try to answer them also after the webinar. I'll try to catch some of the questions that you're asking right now. So going back to the application for a second, we were talking about a specific machine, the active alerts we have. So alert if the X read was more than 8 hours, and this is an active alert, the date and time the alert was activated. Alert when machine had no cash, list sales more than 24 hours. So these are the active alerts that I see on the machine level. Now, there are a couple of actions that you can make. First of all, you can refresh the information of this machine if you wanted to see an update. You are also able to request, there's a plus sign underneath the hamburger that will pop up a menu that will give you additional options to read decks, request parameters, and so on. And if you look on the bar on a bottom bar, you'll see also this trolley that with a box that gives you access to the machine product map. This is the equivalent of what you see here on the machine level, the product map, only in the mobile view. You do have a few options available here. First of all, you can sort the information either by severity, meaning vend out products on top, and then the less empty products on the bottom. If you double click severity, it'll reverse the sorting. You have the option to display the information either by bin or by product. So if you have multiple products, multiple bins with the same product, it'll group those together. And you have the ability also to control which columns you see right here. So if you want to see DEX price, for example, or VMC price here, you're able to do that. If you want to look at par or the on-hand values, this is also flexible. If you click on a product, it will take you to the product details. There you can update some of the details. But if you're looking at if you've gone to the point where you're looking at the product list, you do have some options here. So it depends on when you're using the application. There are certain use cases. One is you're already at the machine, you've just filled it, you press the button, it indicated that you have restocked the machine, but you would like to make some adjustments. So you can do it on a product level, or you can do it on a machine level. When you click adjust stock, it'll give you each product. And you're able to make certain adjustments after you've already refilled the machine. Another use case is when you're at the, let's say you arrived at a certain location, you have a van full of products, and you'd like to generate a pick list right now. So you have the ability to generate that particular pick list. It'll ask you a couple of questions. We have something called minimum pick logic. We do also have, depending on what type of sales source you're using for your machine, meaning DEX or MDB. The difference between DEX price and VMC price, one comes from the DEX file, the other come and are updated each transaction. So when we say VMC price column, this is the information we got from the MDB for every transaction. Each selection is being updated. Whereas DEX prices, we make a DEX read and then it updates the DEX prices. So once I generate a pick list, it will, in this particular instance, show me let me just empty the machine so that I'll have actually products that I'd like to add to the pick list. So when I generate a pick list, yes. When I generate a pick list on the app itself, right now what I'm seeing is basically the list of items I need to pick. If I'm in front of a van, I'm actually also able to go and right now it's picked by bin, but basically I'm able to say, oh, I picked this product, I picked this product, I picked this product, and so on. This is only visual cue. It's not really affecting currently the pick list. It's just a way to help you collect the pick list from the machine. So let's, I pushed generate pick list once again, just a second. Let me go back to view inventory status. So if I go inside a certain product, I do have the ability to update its inventory. I do have the ability to change a product. So if I want to change this particular product to another product, I can do that from here. You have gum Coke. Once I do that, I've made a selection. I'm also able to, apologies, here we go. I'm also able to change the on hand. I'm able to update prices in the product map and just save, make a change. And there you go. I've just swapped the product for that particular selection. I also, you saw me earlier, if I generated a pick list, I can actually fill a pick list as well. It'll take the contents of the pick list and add them to the stock. I can fill a machine, I can empty a machine, I can view the pick list, or I even delete that particular pick list, or generate a new one, which will take updated data and information there. This is a lot of this is predicated on you managing the machine product map setup in the back office. You are able to swap products, but this is not the app doesn't allow you to create a product map. So if you don't have one set up, you need to, initially go into the backend system and set it up to be able to make changes to that product map in the app. There's a lot of know-how here, and it depends on how you operate. But I'd like to continue and give you a few more details, the functionality that you have. So we talked about the dashboard, we talked about inventory management, pick list generation. We do also allow to manage configurations in certain cases. These are parameters that we are able to send to Nayax devices that controls things like audio language, LCD text message, MDB configurations, payment or configurations, basically defining which, for example, how much credit we're going to give a machine once somebody swipes a card, what's the default credit configuration. You're also able, and this is a crucial part, to update machine details. Machine details are the details you see on the general information tab. So you are able to change machine model, update machine name, update machine status through the app. If I go back here we go. You are able to swap a device. So you have access to send restart device commands if you need to, but you're able also to disconnect a certain device and connect another device by typing in the device serial number. It'll give you the options that you have. Then you're able to select that particular device. And in the end, important to go down below, you'll see the save button. And you need to make to save in order to make the actual change. So this is what I'm going to do right now. And there you have it. You have the ability to control configurations. You have the ability to swap devices. You do have the ability to actually, and I'm going to the last section over here, is view last sales, if there are any in this particular case. Let me take another machine so I can show you. I think our office coffee machine has sales. Here we go. So we can see actually a little bit of sales since last visit, daily average sales. We are during COVID, so we don't have a lot of people in the office. But if I go into last sales, then I can see each individual transaction and the product that was sold and the payment method that was used. Yes, you can use device number to find a machine. I can also look at the last alerts. I think I talked about the find on server functionality is what we've added to MoMa. Where you choose a different item to be stocked. On the product map section, when I'm looking, you need to think about it in two ways. Either you're navigating between your hierarchies and looking at lists of machines, or you're drilling down directly into a specific machine. Your indication, if you're on the machine level, is the little change of the bottom bar that gives you, if you're missing that tab, I think we need to take this offline, perhaps discuss and see what kind of permissions you have. As I said before, you may not see some of the things that I see right now, but I think these are things that we can easily address. Where do you go to see cash sales? Well, first of all, sales, you can look at last sales. This by no means a reporting application. This is an operative application. You use it to kind of only glance at last sales. Most of the reporting is done in the main system. This is just to know that to see that, let's say somebody just made a transaction, whether somebody's complaining he didn't receive a product and he was charged, you can actually go inside and investigate and see if he was actually charged or not. Because you'll see the type of payment, the product, and the time and date and the price. This does also show cash sales. You will see cash, an icon of cash coins here. You're able also to look at the last alerts. See, last alerts is the same last alerts you see in the NAGS backend. You can see all of the alerts are basically a log of alert, let's say events and alerts. Those could be either device generated or server generated. For example, you might see certain communication alerts. You might see alerts that are related to a declining of a specific card. You will see the alerts that were generated by setting the threshold. The fact that machine had no cache list over threshold, it's actually an event which is logged into the event log. Beyond getting that as an icon on the list, a machine list, you're able to see that in the event log. You're able to subscribe to that in order to receive events and alerts to email, SMS, and push notifications. And I will be touching on those as well in the system. We talked earlier about setting smart alerts. So defining alert thresholds is you do have the alerts tab in the app. I see a question about convenience fee. Convenience fee is done through the main system. We currently don't have management of convenience fee in MoMa. Mostly the operations you can do here are related to general information, settings, product map, and kind of an overview of last sales, last alerts. So going to alerts tab will give you the ability to see, first of all, it is divided into certain sections if the alerts are enabled or not. Over here, you can have stock level alerts. You have the threshold. You know the alert is on. You have additional alert categories, and you can turn on and off the alert settings here and manage the thresholds. Let me go a little bit and check some of the questions. May have missed. How do you get screen where you choose a different item to be stocked? So the item to be stocked is the little section where you have a little trolley with a box. This is the product map. You have the ability to either adjust stock level on the machine level, or you can press on a single product and be able to swap a product or update product details. In certain cases, if a product has a picture, it'll be up here. You have the ability to change that product, remove. Okay. And you have the ability to update various details of that one single particular product. So a couple of more things that I want to touch on. Text alerts, I see some questions. I think we might take it offline and check specifically. One thing I do want to touch on is the ability to enable push notification alerts. So in the backend system, once you log into MoMa, if you go to your account settings, you have your own details, but one of the things you have is the alert rules. Alert rules is where you basically can subscribe to receive various alerts, either to email, SMS, or push notifications. Push notifications you can subscribe to once you've logged in to MoMa on your mobile device. By doing that, it gives the push token to our system, and then the section here which says notify by push is enabled, and then you're able to subscribe to receive push notifications as well. If you're already subscribed to certain SMS messages, perhaps you might want to try to enable push notifications, see if you have better luck with that. I think what you can do, and this is once you subscribe to the notifications, the fact that you will receive those push notifications in the system tray, like you do with other applications. We do also have the notification settings here within the application. So, for example, if I am to, let's say, search for fill to par, machine fill to par, and subscribe to push notification. Actually, you do have the ability to control when the alerts are being sent on. This is tied into the configuration you have for machine working hours. Let me go back to machine and discuss that for a second. This is not related to MoMa, but this is important, I think, that you know. One of the settings you have on machine level is if you've not enabled business days on the operator level, which you can, by the way, and it'll basically all of the machines will inherit the working hours and business days. But if you haven't, you are able to enable that on the machine level and then set working hours for a specific machine. And then once you're subscribing to an alert from my accounts section, you're able to actually say, give me the alert all day, only during working hours, or only during non-working hours. That'll give you an ability to kind of alert on certain things when kind of anomaly. But let me set this particular alert, machine fill to par. Let me just save that for myself. And if I go back to MoMa application, and hopefully the gods of technology still favor me, if I now, I'll go back to a machine that I emptied earlier. Just a second. Cafeteria. So I have my nice office snacks. I can do that from the other system as well, but I can actually go to the inventory and then through options, full machine. So I get a little disclaimer saying the action will cause the following. It'll delete the pick list, reset the on hand, and also update the visit. Are you sure? Yes, I am sure. And once I've done that, actually it was pretty quick, but it's not local. The push notification came from the server. You can see that right here. New alert, machine Nike's office snack has been filled to par. So there you have it. You can get your notifications in the system notifications, but you also have the notifications center where you can see that notification of that particular alert. So if you've, for any reason, dismissed that, you're able to go back in and look at this alert. And if you don't want it anymore, you can also delete that. But let me do that once again. Full machine. And there we go, MoMa new alert, machine was filled. So this is how push notifications work. So let me talk a little bit about, we spoke about changing devices, we spoke about push notifications. We do have additional things related to native functionalities. Changing prices is a topic that has a certain nuance to it. If you're working with prepaid cards, you can set a price on the server side to, which means you are able to make changes to the price directly in the app. Certain things, but if you're talking about cash prices and credit card prices with EMV, that's kind of needs to be set on the machine. We do have a functionality that we're able to push out a DEX file with prices to the machine and update prices remotely. It requires a little bit of setup and know-how. Simple answer is certain things you can update on directly in the app or on the server side. Other you'll need to update on the machine itself. So one of the things that I wanted to kind of talk about is the ability to, we've been talking about linking a smart sticker onto the app, onto the machine. The idea is, all right, it says I need to log out and re-log in. Would you like to do that? Yes, I will. Just a second, let me do a quick login. And 1 minute. All right, going back to the app. So smart stickers, I don't know if you're familiar, we've talked about them. Let me show you how to scan. I am talking, I'm gonna hide the QR. It read that a little bit too fast, but I think you know what I'm talking about. Basically, what it allows you to do if you, the idea is you can put a smart sticker on the machine, and then in the app, link that sticker to a particular machine. And then what it does is next time you press on link sticker and scan that sticker, you will be, here we go, let me do that again. You will be taken directly to that machine. So that's another quick way to access the machine when in the app. And the other benefit of associating a smart sticker to the machine is the ability to enable the Monix wallet application for consumers to be able to scan that QR and be able to pay with the Monix wallet. I believe we can talk about that in additional webinars that Eliran has mentioned before. So this is the smart sticker and the push notifications and the native functionalities of the application. We do have an about section with terms and agreement and privacy policy, but we do also have sort of a help section that gives you an overview of the functionalities of the app. But of course, you have this webinar and you have a lot of information in the NICE University, just to give you an understanding of what we have here. And I believe the last thing that I'd like to talk about is the MoMa authenticator. I know many of you might be familiar with what has been done in NICE backend system to increase security, and that's the multi-factor authentication. One of the options you have is to set MoMa as the authenticator application, meaning that when you're performing a login to, let me do an incognito window, go to my NICE. Now, once I perform a login, I have set up MoMa as my authenticating application. And what happens in this instance, even if I'm not logged into MoMa, oh, sorry. I'm being prompted with this screen. I wanted to show you the push notification, but essentially, MoMa Authenticator is an option that you have available in the side menu. Once you click that, you have basically the security code. I have a little issue with my account, but that security code is something you can type in, and it'll help you sign in to the NICE backend system. And if it wasn't due to some configurations of my phone, what would happen is I would get a push notification and be prompted to approve that on my phone, and I would just have to click in the push notification on the approve button, and that would have logged me in back into the system. Let me see if I can still address some of the questions that we have here. Is there a way to know the product person paid the product but it didn't come out? No, this is something you'll have to go by trust. Where do I go to see cash sale in the last sales? Those are included. When your product details have been the changes to the products that I was making earlier, some of these actually even generated events. Just to give you an indication, machine had, I think it was on Nice Office Snacks. If I look at the last alerts, so you can see that stock level has been, I've refilled the machine to par. I've actually also seen the recovery of the alert, meaning the alert that I had a threshold for has now recovered. Let me see additional questions. How do I add convenience fee? So convenience fee, as I said earlier, you cannot do it in MoMa. This is done in the payment section of NICE backend system. This is where you set the convenience fee. Is there an alert if a product was vended for free? Forgot to set the price. Well, there isn't an alert for that, but there is an alert talking about product price alert if DEX prices are different from retail prices. So you have a column on the product map, which are called retail price. Retail price is the informational only. You set the retail price. But if retail price is different, for example, from DEX price or machine price, then you see that highlighted here. For example, these products have different prices from retail price. And you're able to set that as an alert saying, hey, price in the machine, retail price is not, is higher or low. It's different from what is in the DEX. So actually, you can also alert when DEX prices change from last DEX read. So if you have consistent DEX reads showing certain prices, and then suddenly a price change, if you set this alert up, you don't need to set any threshold. You'll be notified once this will happen. And of course, setting, just to clarify something, setting an alert threshold here will only result in logging that event into the last alerts of a particular machine. This does not automatically subscribe you to that event. To subscribe to receive events, you're doing that through the account settings. You can search and subscribe which events you want to get to your mobile phone. Is there text? Can I change price from MoMa on the machine? length limit to text. Text alerts do have an inherent length limit. The limit is the limit set by text basically everywhere. I believe it's about 140 characters. We don't use services like WhatsApp, so they have longer length. But can a refund be issued by MoMa? Yes, it can, and this actually relates to the functionality that we have. We've linked Monix wallet application to MoMa, so you're able to first of all log in, set up an account with Monix. Let me do that right now. Next. Let me see the verification code. Okay. So right now I have received the verification code. This is MoMa. I have a prepaid card assigned to a certain hierarchy that I have right now. First of all, using MoMa, you have Monix. From within MoMa, you're able to search for a specific machine and then issue payment. So, for example, if I were to I don't remember the number. Nope. Search. Machine not found. Oh, here we go. So if I've selected a machine, I can actually pay from within MoMa. But this is not the way we intended for this use. One of the things you do have an option to do once you set it up, for example, I'm looking into a machine under Office. Let's go to cafeteria. Let's say old habits die hard. I'm still searching. But one of the actions that I showed you earlier is you have pay with Monix. So once you've logged in and you have a prepaid card associated to your account, we can discuss that a little bit later. You have the ability to kind of issue a refund using Monix. And when I do pay with Monix for this particular machine, right now it's not communicating. But let me see if I can find a different machine. So if we run out an espresso machine. So if I do this, pay with Monix, I need to check if it's my phone, if there's an issue. But potentially, yes, you could be, you would be able to perform a refund. Need to check why right now it's not working. Maybe it's something with my account. Okay, let me see. The refunds that I'm talking to are instant refunds, meaning if somebody calls you up and says, hey, somebody swallowed, the machine swallowed my money, I want a refund right now, you would be able to issue that instant refund. What that would do is immediately wake up the particular machine and allow the consumer to select the product. Additional refunds, refunds to a credit card can be done through requests to, I believe, to either NIAX support. If you want to do that for a customer, we have a refund email. I believe we can share for that. But we do also have something called Monix refund, meaning you're able to issue a refund to someone's phone number. He can download Monix and have a refund. I believe we can talk extensively about that in Monix webinar as well. I believe we're we've surpassed our time, and if you do have any additional questions, you can write those here. I believe we'll do our best to reply to everybody. I hope I've been able to answer a lot of your questions. I think if I've missed anything, if you'd like to know a little more things, you can of course ask away. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great day.